That night, Christy thought Martin just wanted to talk, but what happened next would nearly cost her life. But how did a rising boxing champion end up in such a terrifying situation? Let's go back to where Christy's story began. The movie begins with Christy inside a boxing ring, fiercely fighting her opponent. The story then takes us back to 1989 in West Virginia. Christy arrives home and happily greets everyone. She proudly shows her family a boxing jacket she just won after winning a local competition, along with a $300 prize. But instead of celebrating, her mother looks upset. During dinner, Christy notices the strange silence and asks her father why he isn't saying anything. That's when her mother reveals that Pam called her and accused Christy and Rosie of talking about inappropriate things. Her mother insists that Christy must go with them to see a priest, and she also forbids her from meeting Rosie again. This quickly turns into a heated argument. In the end, her mother says that whatever Christy is doing is not normal. Later, Christy secretly meets Rosie. The two share an intimate moment, but Rosie sadly tells her that they can't keep meeting anymore. If her mother finds out, she might stop paying Rosie's rent, leaving her with nowhere to stay. Not long after, Christy gets into a fight with another boxer who insults her by calling her a lesbian. Even though the insult is hurtful, Christy refuses to say anything about it when the coach asks what happened. Soon after, Christy receives a call from Chris. He tells her that a boxing promoter named Larry, who watched her fight a few days earlier, was impressed with her performance. Chris offers her a chance to fight in upcoming matches, promising $500 for each fight. We then see Christy stepping back into the ring, facing a much tougher opponent. Even though she is still a newcomer, Christy fights incredibly well. Her natural talent makes it clear that she truly belongs in the ring. After the match, while Christy is talking with Rosie, Larry suddenly interrupts them. He praises Christy for her performance and asks if she would like to fight in more matches. Larry offers to promote her career and help her earn more money. He also tells Christy about Martin, who works with him and coaches his son. Larry suggests that Christy bring her mother to the training place so they can discuss things properly. Before leaving, he congratulates her on preparing for her next match. When Christy arrives at the boxing gym, she meets Martin and introduces herself. But Martin completely ignores her and behaves rudely. Seeing this awkward moment, Larry steps in and introduces Christy to Martin again. Later that night during dinner, Christy's mother seems surprisingly happy. She learns that the gym training is free and that Christy will even be earning money from fights. Christy isn't very comfortable with this idea, but her mother manipulates the situation and convinces her to join the gym and compete in upcoming matches. The next day, Martin asks Christy to step into the ring and show him what she can do. He even tells her opponent to use full power against her, but once the fight begins, Christy fights back with confidence and quickly defeats him. Soon after, Christy is given her own room at the training facility with all the necessary amenities. She feels excited and hopeful about starting a new chapter in her life. During training, Martin begins teaching her new boxing techniques, and Christy trains extremely hard every day. One day at a cafe, Martin joins her at the table and orders coffee for her, almost like he's trying to control the situation. He bluntly tells her that he doesn't want to train a fat boxer. But a moment later, he adds that he actually wants her to become the best boxer in the ring. Later, when Christy returns to her room, she finds a package sent by Martin. The next day, as Christy gets ready for practice, Martin surprisingly compliments her, saying she looks cute. The comment makes Christy feel both confident and nervous at the same time. Soon, she walks toward the ring once again. In the match, Christy fights skillfully and wins easily. That night, Christy calls Rosie and excitedly tells her about the fight. But during the conversation, Christy suddenly realizes that Rosie has been seeing someone else. Rosie admits that the long-distance relationship isn't working anymore, and they break up. Heartbroken, Christy ends the call. With all that pain and anger inside her, she pours all her emotions into boxing. From that moment on, Christy becomes even more focused on her career. One fight after another, she keeps winning matches. During this time, Martin slowly starts complimenting her more often and seems to develop feelings for her. One evening while they're playing pool, Martin starts asking personal questions. He brings up Christy's past relationship with Rosie and asks why she doesn't have a boyfriend. He even suggests that she should grow her hair longer so people will like her more when she fights in the ring. The next day, we see Christy waking up beside him and quietly leaving. That entire day, she doesn't attend practice. Later in the evening, Christy talks with her father and admits that she misses him a lot. When she sees him, she gives him a warm hug and says she sometimes wishes she could just come back home. In the next scene, Christy and Martin sit together and talk. Christy feels lost and confused about what is happening in her life. She admits that she doesn't know how to move forward and just wants to live without constantly worrying about money and pressure. Martin then tells her that he believes in her talent. He wants her to fight more matches and perform like a true professional boxer. He also reveals that he plans to promote her on a much bigger level. Later that night, Everyone gathers for dinner and celebrates Christy's growing success in boxing. Soon, we see Martin and Christy moving to another training location. Here, Christy begins practicing with male boxers who are much stronger than her. Despite the tough training, Christy keeps improving and starts winning many matches with Martin's guidance. One day, Christy receives a call from Rosie, who asks if they can meet. Martin overhears part of the conversation and becomes curious. The next day, Christy meets Rosie at a cafe. During their conversation, Rosie asks her about her relationship with Martin. But before Christy can explain much, Martin suddenly arrives. He pulls Christy aside, grabs her hand, and starts manipulating her. He questions her past and brings up what people might think about her relationship history. Then, completely out of nowhere, Martin does something shocking. He kneels down and proposes to Christy right there in the cafe. Caught in the moment, Christy accepts his proposal. The story then moves forward to 1995. One morning, Martin receives a call from Christy's father, who says Christy has gone out for a jog. Martin quickly ends the call. When Christy returns and asks who called, he avoids answering. Soon after, Christy starts worrying about their financial situation and suggests that maybe she should find a job to help. But Martin immediately refuses and firmly tells her that she is not allowed to work anywhere. After saying this, he angrily leaves the house. Later that evening, Martin takes Christy to a shady underground place where illegal fights take place. There, Martin collects money and arranges a match for Christy against an older opponent. During the fight, the man behaves in a way that makes Christy very uncomfortable, but she still manages to win the match. The next day, after another victory, a mysterious man suddenly enters Christy's room and starts praising her boxing skills. He tells her that she should meet someone important named Don. The following day, Christy and Martin meet Don, who is interested in seeing Christy's fighting style. They try to play a recording of her previous matches, but for some reason the footage doesn't appear on the screen. So instead, Christy demonstrates her boxing moves right there in front of him. Don is impressed by her talent. He agrees to introduce Christy to a much bigger stage and offers her a $5,000 contract to sign with his promotion. Soon after, during a press conference, Christy is officially introduced to the public as one of the first female boxers to headline a major pay-per-view event. Standing in front of the cameras, Christy delivers a powerful and confident speech, boldly challenging anyone who doubts her abilities. A few days later, right before an important match, Christy feels very nervous. Don comes to check on her and asks how she is feeling. But instead of comforting her, he reminds her that it is extremely important to win, because he has placed a lot of money on the fight. After saying this, he casually leaves the room. In the restroom, Christy's mother Joyce tries to encourage her and calm her down. Soon after, Martin also talks to her and tells her to simply do what she has always done, fight hard and win. When Christy finally enters the ring, she immediately feels the pressure. Her opponent is very strong and known for never losing a match. As the fight begins, things look bad for Christy at first. It seems like she might lose. But slowly, she gathers her strength and begins fighting back. The crowd starts noticing her determination, and soon the entire arena is cheering loudly for her. Christy struggles through the tough rounds, but in the end, she manages to win the match, proving her incredible strength once again. Later, in Apopka, Florida, a magazine reporter interviews Christy and asks about her boxing journey and rising success. Over the next few days, Christy's life begins to change. We see her driving a bright pink car, training in the ring with confidence, and gaining more and more fans. With every fight, she keeps challenging stronger opponents and proving why she is considered one of the most exciting female boxers. One day, while Christy is playing with a small puppy and casually talking with her neighbor outside, Martin watches her suspiciously from the window. When Christy later explains that she was just having a friendly conversation, Martin still seems doubtful. Later at the gym, Christy asks Martin if Don has called about any new fights, because she wants more matches and better contracts. But during the conversation, Martin suddenly punches her hard, shocking her. Not long after, Don King arranges another match for Christy against an extremely tough opponent. He also warns her not to talk too much about money or fame, hinting that something suspicious might be happening behind the scenes. One morning after returning from a jog, Christy tells Martin that she is thinking about hiring a co-trainer to improve her skills. But Martin immediately refuses the idea and becomes aggressive. During another training session in the ring, Martin tells Christy that she needs to change her training style. He also says that he plans to call one of her former opponents to spar with her during practice. As Christy prepares to leave the gym, one of the trainers, who is also her friend, stops her. He asks how she is really doing and seems worried about her situation. It looks like he wants to tell her something important, but he hesitates, as if he is hiding something from her. The next day, we see Christy training in the gym with Lisa. The two practice together and help each other improve. Lisa clearly cares about Christy and even talks to Martin about her, showing concern for Christy's well-being. But Martin coldly tells Lisa to stay away from them from now on. Later, in a private room, Lisa and Christy talk for a while. Lisa gives her some important advice and encourages her to stay strong before quietly leaving. Soon, the day of the big fight finally arrives. Christy stands nervously inside the ring, waiting for her opponent. Then Layla enters the arena with confidence. As soon as she appears, the entire audience begins cheering loudly for her. The match begins, and in the first round, Layla lands several powerful punches, clearly dominating the fight. The match becomes extremely intense. Christy tries her best to fight back, but she slowly starts losing her strength. In the end, Layla wins the match, leaving Christy defeated. Years later, in 2010, we see Christy training alone. She tells Martin that she isn't feeling okay anymore and wants to leave boxing. In the changing room, Martin gives her some pills, claiming they will help her recover. Soon after, Martin becomes suspicious when he notices Tina calling Christy on her phone. When Christy refuses to show him the phone, Martin suddenly becomes violent and attacks her, almost choking her in anger. Later, Christy's parents arrive to celebrate her birthday. While everyone is in the house, Christy quietly sneaks into the kitchen where her mother is baking a cake. She asks her mother to step outside because she needs to talk about something serious. Christy finally reveals the truth. She tells her mother that Martin secretly records their private moments and controls her life. But instead of supporting her, her mother silences her. She scolds Christy and says that Martin has already told her everything about Christy's drug problems. Because of this, her mother refuses to believe her. That night, after everyone leaves the house, Martin secretly drugs Christy again and begins recording her once more, showing how deeply trapped she has become. The next day, Christy and Jeff are sitting inside a car. Jeff finally tells her something shocking. He reveals that the money Christy has been earning from her boxing matches isn't going to her. Instead, Martin has been secretly spending it on strange things. Jeff also tells her something even worse. Martin has leaked her private recordings in the gym. Christy is stunned. She tells Jeff that she will earn money again from her upcoming matches and walks away. But Jeff stops her and delivers another painful truth. There are no upcoming matches at all. Hearing this, Christy's heart completely breaks. Back at the gym, Christy angrily confronts Martin and even attacks him. But Martin humiliates her in front of everyone, shouting that she is nothing without him. Later at home, Christy begins packing her belongings to leave. Martin suddenly changes his behavior and tries to make peace with her, manipulating her emotions. But this time, Christy refuses to listen and continues packing her bags. Soon after, Christy meets Rosie at a restaurant. She finally shares everything that has been happening in her life. Christy tells Rosie that she is seriously thinking about leaving Martin forever. While they are talking, Christy suddenly receives a call from Martin. It becomes clear that he has been spying on her. Feeling unsafe, Christy and Rosie decide to go to a hotel for the night. But Christy cannot sleep at all. Late at night, she quietly leaves the hotel room and walks to the nearby beach, spending some time alone trying to clear her mind. When she returns to the room, Rosie is waiting for her. Suddenly, Christy receives a call from Jeff, who tells her that Martin has now leaked her private pictures everywhere. After hearing this, Christy makes a decision. She tells Rosie that she is not going to hide anymore. She wants to go back and take back her house, her gym, and everything she worked for. So Christy returns home. Martin acts calm and tells her that he wants to talk later that night. Later, when Christy wakes up, she receives a call from Rosie, and the two talk for a moment. But suddenly Martin walks into the room. Christy notices something terrifying. There is a knife in his hand. Without warning, Martin attacks her. Christy falls to the floor, desperately begging for help, but Martin throws her phone away so she cannot call anyone. He then walks into the bathroom. While shaving, he suddenly returns to the room again. This time, he opens a drawer, takes out a gun, and shoots Christy twice. Christy collapses, barely conscious. But somehow, using the last bit of strength she has left, Christy slowly opens her eyes and forces herself to get up. Trying not to make any noise, she quietly grabs a set of car keys and manages to escape the house. Outside, she realizes something terrible. She grabbed the wrong car keys. Weak and injured, Christy starts walking down the road, desperately asking a stranger in a nearby car for help. In the next scene, we see Christy rushed to the hospital. Doctors quickly surround her and begin emergency treatment. Even in that condition, the only thing Christy keeps asking is for someone to call Rosie. After the surgery, Christy finally wakes up. Rosie is sitting beside her, holding her hand. Soon, Christy's family arrives as well. Seeing his daughter like that, her father breaks down in tears. Her mother then asks Rosie to step outside for a moment, but instead of thanking her for being there, her mother blames Rosie for everything that happened. When Christy wakes up, she asks about Rosie, but her mother refuses to tell her anything. Instead, she once again blames Christy for everything that happened. This time, Christy cannot stay quiet anymore and angrily argues back. Later that evening, Christy looks at herself in the hospital mirror, seeing all the injuries on her body. A nurse tells her that she should use a walker for a while until she fully recovers, but Christy refuses. She is determined to stand on her own again. Soon, Lisa arrives at the hospital to visit her. The two share a warm and emotional moment together. After talking for a while, Christy tells Lisa that even after everything she has gone through, she still wants to return to the ring and fight again. Lisa smiles and wishes her good luck. In that moment, we can see a special connection forming between them. Later, Christy surprises everyone by walking into the gym again. Everyone is shocked to see her back so soon. She hugs the people there, happy to return. In a private room, her friends tell her that she should rest because it has only been 2 weeks since the attack. But Christy refuses to give up. She convinces Jeff to arrange another match for her. After that, we see Christy slowly rebuilding her life. She begins enjoying the simple and peaceful moments again. Training in the gym, practicing boxing, grocery shopping, and focusing on the things she loves. Meanwhile, the legal battle continues. In the courtroom, Christy finally confronts Martin, expressing all the anger and pain he caused her. Time passes, and eventually Christy returns to the boxing ring once again. This time, she looks strong, confident, and fearless, just like she used to be. As the crowd cheers loudly for her, Christy smiles, proving that she never let her struggles defeat her. In the end, Martin is found guilty of attempted second-degree murder and is sentenced to 25 years in prison without parole. Christy's story becomes a powerful reminder that no matter how hard life hits you, the real victory is standing back up and fighting again. Share your thoughts on this story, and if you enjoy this story, make sure to subscribe for more movie recaps.